Coach, I'll make you the host.
Thank you, sir. We got a couple rolling in now. Yeah, we'll give it a minute. Like I said, this one's a little bit quicker than my last one. And a lot of the stuff we touched on in the last one will be in this one. So like I said, we'll be able to get all caught up here. There we go. And so we'll give it about a minute. We'll get rolling. We'll save some time. I won't ramble on about who I am. I'll give it a quick rundown. But like I said, I think most of the people that are here were just in the last one. Hey, thanks, Ryan. Definitely appreciate that. Like I said, this is only my second time presenting. The first time, so this I've done this one. So using formations and motions, I presented this at the Wings of Things clinic. But the last one and the next one are brand new. So even like the last one, just different ideas that you felt like maybe I missed or could have explained differently. I'm open to whatever your any suggestions, tips, anything like that. So like I said, I know one of the guys that was in the last one brought up like where to place the kids, and that was honestly like that's 101 for installing. You got to know where to put the kids. So like I said, I'll be adding that to the presentation for the next time. It's kind of one of those things where it's a ever evolving piece of work. And like I said, same with this one. Fire away any questions. This one's gonna have, like I said, more film and stuff like that. So like I said, this one's gonna be a little bit better. The film is some's better than others. Unfortunately, it's a lot of times it's a parent doing the recording. So you kind of get what you get, but I tried to pick the best film that I had, at least for the different format or different formations and plays. Buck the Trojan is smart, and that play call she is brilliant for youth. I agree. Like I said, I've seen all those with all the different breakdowns of 2nd and 8 you're running this, and 1st and 10 you're looking at that, and 3rd and that you're looking at this, and I don't know, like we don't have enough of those enough plays to adjust. Like I think that helps if you're a passing team. Yeah, you got different pass concepts that hit different distances. But if you're all run, I mean, it's you're calling your bread and butter plays, whether it's 3rd and 4 or 3rd and 10, probably if you're running on both of them. So, like I said, it just didn't make sense to me to have all that other stuff, and I needed a reference because I tried doing that with the other way, and like I said, there was times I'd forget to call plays, and I'd go back and be like, shit, I scouted that, I know that was there, but it wasn't in the front of my play sheet. So, like I said, that's why I changed it. Absolutely. Makes the play calling simpler. 3rd and 8, give the ball to F your stud and make it much simpler. Absolutely. Like your effort, like if all right, so like honestly, my difference is between like a 3rd and 4, I'll probably run power or Trojan. If it's 3rd and 10 plus, I'll probably hit counter. So those are kind of my adjustments. And like I said, I'll run. We do install a bunch of formations, and like I said, you'll see it through this slide, this presentation. But so I'll hit it out of different looks with different motions and stuff. But it's again, we run 6 concepts. All right, so we're gonna get rolling here. Uh, uh, you said I called my wife to see that play. She said, "Wow, listen, if I'm impressing wives with it, I'm doing something right. That's awesome, man." And what's even cooler than that is the fact that she's into it enough to care. Like if you've got your wife and she's involved and truly was like into that, like that's a good thing, man. That's gonna lead to a happy marriage. All right, here we go. So this format. So I'm not going to get into a whole thing. Like I said, I know it's a lot of the same guys, but I know it's being recorded, so I'm going to kind of give a real quick spiel, but this is going to be the abbreviated one. So I apologize if you're watching this recording. You're going to get the short version. I'm Jeremy Levesque. I coach out of Western Mass. It's a small town out in where I'm from, Adams. It's a small town. I'm about a half hour south of Vermont and about a half hour east of New York. So we're in that corner where the rest of the state forgets about us. We have small. I've been coaching for 16 years, and in my 16 years, I bet I've played in all of 10 to 12 championships. 4 as a head coach. So the last 4 years, I've been the head coach for the 5th, 6th grade. 3 of them running exclusively the gun tee. Then one of them 4 years ago where I ran like a hybrid of the gun tee and more of a pistol type offense. So again, we've run a little bit, but again, we're mainly focused with the gun tee the last 3 years, and we've been to 4 championships in the last 4. Won 2, lost 2. One of the 2 that I'd lost, who were undefeated in the regular season, went up against a really good team at the other end of our county, and they just got the better of us. They played ball control. We ran 3 plays the entire second. They got the second half kickoff. We ran 3 plays in the second half and lost 12-6. And those 3 plays were the last 3 plays of the game, and we were backed up inside of our own 10. So they play ball control 3 yards, and at the youth you get 50 seconds, and we play 10-minute quarters. So they run 12 plays, and there's a whole quarter. They get a drive going, it's a whole quarter, and they don't really follow the game clock super closely. So again, no excuse. We couldn't stop them on offense. They put up some points, and they stopped us. But like I said, so my point is we've had some success running this offense. There we go. This is kind of the breakdown. Again, I know I went over this for the most part earlier. I coach the 5th, 6th grade. There's a weight limit of 125, which does not mean that the kids can't play. It just means that they can't run with the ball, and they have to line up between the tackles. So tackle to tackle, guards or center they can play. And on defense, they have to be aligned inside the outside shoulder of the offensive tackle. If they get a fumble recovery, an interception, they can't advance it. They have to go right down. And then if they're punting, I don't think I mentioned this in the last one. If a team's punting, they can't rush the punt. I don't agree with that, but I get it to a point. So I'm not going to go through all this again. You can kind of read this through here. The vertical alignment with our school. Again, our high school, our youth feeds into our high school. I'm the offensive coordinator at the high school level, and I'm the one that brought this into our high school, and then we've been running it, like I said, from the 3rd, 4th grade level up. The 3rd, 4th grade level is definitely a totally different version, and they didn't run it super exclusively. They kind of did their own thing, but a lot of the base was kind of the same play formation name. So, like I said, it's a work in progress with those guys, but like I said, they were definitely all aboard last year, and it's just going to grow this year. Stud of the week. What I need to do is just make a slide for that. But I'll give the quick rundown on that. I like teaching life lessons. I think as a coach, we do it more than we truly realize we're doing it. So what the start of the week is for us is I'll start the season with 3 captains, and rolling into week 1, we'll have 1 captain that rotates. That 1 captain was voted on by the 3 other captains for week 1. Those 3 captains need to give a 1-minute speech on why those 3 captains picked that start of the week. And the cool thing with that is it's not always the best player, the most popular player. A lot of times it's the kid that does bust his ass in practice. He's always there, and maybe it's a small kid that just got the crap knocked out of him the last couple practices, but he's still there. He's gritting through it, and he's earned some respect from the team. And like, it's awesome listening to kids tell other kids why they picked them to do something good, or think like positive things about them. Like, stuff like that is awesome. The other side of that is that 30-second speech. Some kids will do it in their sleep and not think twice about it. Other kids, it's petrifying for them. I had one kid this last year. I've coached him for 2 years. He's never said 2 words in practice in 2 years. He got picked to be start of the week, and he had to give a 30-second speech. He didn't quite make 30 seconds, but he talked more in those 30 seconds, 20 seconds, whatever it was, than he did in the previous 2 years. So for me, I was 100% good with it. That I felt good with that. I record this. I send it out to the parents. The parents love it. Like I said, all around, it's just a cool thing to do. My senior division team just picked up doing it this last year. So like I said, it's something different, and it keeps kids coming back because every kid, you can only be start of the week once. So like as the season wanes on, like there's some kids that are like, hey, I need to get it. So they'll put a little bit extra in practice trying to get that start of the week. And it's all based off of practice. It has nothing to do with the previous week's game or anything like that. And it's 100% picked by the players. So with that, the following week, the kid that was picked stud of the week now needs to give the 30-second speech on why they picked the next kid. And then the following week, that kid has to say it. So like every week, whoever the start of the week was the previous week has to give that talk. So like I said, I like to bring that up. It's got nothing to do with formations, emotions, but it's just something that I do that it's probably one of my favorite parts of the week is listening to those speeches from those kids that you never hear anything from, or the kids that you hear too much from, and they usually give some pretty solid speeches too. All right, here we go. Why? So why use formations and motions? Misdirections. Motions can confuse the defense. It gets them looking one way, and it can open up things going back the other direction. Deception and misdirection. It's all kind of pretty straightforward with that. You get a motion flying one way, jet motion going across one way, and you hit counter coming back on it. That was probably one of our best plays this year. And it was just a very simple motion. He came across and was just an inside handoff to our B coming back on counter. And that was probably our best play, probably for the last 3 years, to the point where I've had pretty much the biggest town in our league. They know that it's coming. And he goes, we work on it all week. Every week we play you guys, and we still can't stop it. And they don't. Like we have more success with them, but they're aggressive kids. So we use that to our advantage. We know those linebackers, they're fast. They want to fly to the ball. Hit them with that motion one way and go back the other way. Huge. So you're going to you don't even need to block that backside half the time because they're flying out of there. Creates mismatches. Motions can be used to set up favorable matchups, exploiting the speed or size difference against specific defenders. So you'll see we run like a bunch look. It's a tight bunch look to where we have our 2 running backs and our tight end right at the end of the line. And again, it creates mismatches. We get the extra guy there, but there's not an extra lineman. So a lot of the times what we'll see with the defense is they're not adjusting. So we're going to get the same look, and now we got the extra back there to help block. Confused defensive assignments. At the youth level, maybe not as much. Like with a motion, you might kind of confuse that a little bit. If you motion across the field and maybe hit like a little flat route, you can kind of confuse some defensive assignments because now you got like a flood concept out there, and that's tough for any kid to pick up, especially a 10-year-old. So like I said, it definitely helps that a little bit. Creating space. I love to go empty. I know I just brought up how we go with a tight bunch right at the end of the line of scrimmage, but with that, I do like to go 5 wide. Will run empty sets quite a bit, and you'll see that quite a bit with my next talk where I'm talking about quarterback runs. Having a quarterback that can run makes all the difference in the world with this offense. I'll take a quarterback that can run over a quarterback that can pass at the youth level 100 times out of 100. It's great to have that, but great to have the kid that can pass, but at the youth level, pass blocking's not great. Route running's pretty terrible sometimes. And then you got to have a kid catch it. There's like you said, how's this say? With a pass, there's 3 things that can happen, and 2 of them are bad, something like that. So like I said, I'd rather take the guy that can run. The adaptability, being able to it kind of goes with creating space, and it gets different defenses. Like a lot of times going empty, that totally flips what a defense is doing. In coming out of empty, we'll line up in 5 wide, and then we'll motion our running back into the backfield. And again, I've got film on this, into the backfield and run our base play. But because he initially lines up in empty and motions, it looks totally different to a defense. But we're just running right at power, our base power play. So like I said, just going in motion and just getting an empty set. I'll tell you what, empty set at the youth level is if you can get your kids to line up in empty sets, I say do it 100% of the time. Like not 100%. Don't call it 100% of the time, but have it installed. It's so worth it, and you get some funny looks. And you'll see in a film where they ended up having like their D end shift out and cover our number 3 guy on that we had split out, which left the off tackle wide open. Like so, you'll see some funky looks from the youth level, and then exploit personnel strengths. So like if you were in my last talk, you saw at the end how I really wanted to isolate my F and our empty look. So we went empty, which brought our A and our F or our A and our X over to the strong side, and empty puts our F out to the quick side by himself. So we just set up one-on-ones out there with our best athlete. And again, super easy install. We can hit him on a handful of plays. We can hit him on quick little bubble routes, now screens, slant routes if he can run them. We can motion him into the backfield and then again run all of our base offense out of it. So again, there's a lot of different things you can do with just formations and motions. Again, have a base and use tags. I've talked about this with the last one. So this is our base offense. This is our red look. So it's tight right. So we'll have, like I said, our Y, our tight end, and our B. These are so your wing back, your tight end, your strong tackle, and your strong guard. If we go strong left, everybody flips. So this side of the line now lines up on the left side. This side of the line now lines up on the right side. Our F flips. So our entire offense mirrors. So what that does is it helps us to where our quick guard doesn't need to pull kick very often. He's 90% of the time going to be a pull wrapper. So we can really focus on that. And the same thing with our strong guard. He's going to be a pull kick most of the time. But we can really work on that. Our strong tackle is always going to be down blocking. 98% of the time, he's going to be down blocking. So where our quick tackle needs to know different RPO reads if we're running them. So again, everybody's got a different responsibility, and it makes it easier just to be able to flip that line back and forth, and it saves having to teach everything. We will cross train. Like our quick guard will know how to pull kick, but that's not what he's going to be that's not going to be a specialty skill. He's going to be able to do it, and he's probably our next guard if we need him to. But like I said, he's going to focus more on that pull wrap than anything else, and then tackles, down blocks, things like that. So again, have a base and use tags. We talked about that in the last session. So I know this says formation, but that honestly could say tags, because what you're going to see is, so everything's based off of our red formation, which is our base look here. And these are all of our tags. So say we say red empty. So red empty, all that's going to do, empty talks to our F and moves him out. Puts him out, split to the quick side. That's it. For the other 10 guys, they're in red. It doesn't change. They hear empty, it don't matter to them. Empty does not talk to anybody but the F. So like I said, the tags make it a lot easier. We can go bug, red bug. All bug does, of course, I've got it there. Hold on. So right here, you got red bug. All bug does is, so here's your red look, tight end wing right. Bug tells your B to go to the other side. For your other 10 guys, they're still in red. Nothing changes. They are still in red, except for your B. Nothing changes for those guys. I'm not going to go through every one of these, but just kind of showing a couple different things that we do that'll kind of help when we get into the plays here in a second. Like I said, we're about to get into film. I just want to touch on this. Our Mustang look brings our B, so now we're in our strong left, so this is blue. So our Mustang looks, all that does is it takes your B and moves them into the backfield. So now you got a 2-back look in the backfield, and you can run either way. So say I wanted to run B power. So B is power goes to the strong side, which is going to hit in this general area depending on the defensive look. So what we'll do is we'll flip our F and our B. We'll put our F here, our B on this backside. Our F leads up and through the hole for power. Our B runs power. Same thing. It's a way to get the ball in the B's hand. Because sometimes your B might not be the guy that you want to run jet with all the time. He might be more of a downhill runner, and that's what we had this last year. Well, really the last 2 years they were more downhill runners than necessarily speed guys. But I like having a guy that's a little bit bigger at B just because it really helps block that edge. So again, depending on your personnel, it's going to kind of depend on some of the plays that you call. I just want to show 2 more formations. We got a question. If you're trying to show the formations, we're not seeing them. Oh shoot, is it not? I think I did this last time too. I was presenting this. So right, did the screen go black? I see what's going on. Okay, so you're still seeing the PowerPoint. Can you see it now? All right. I thought I had it selected. My fault, guys. I apologize. Like I said, we'll get into it a little bit more, and I've got the look when we get into it. So don't stress what you've missed. It'll all kind of come back up again. But what I'm showing here, like I said, these are the formations and tags. Like I said, you were able to see this stuff. You just weren't able to see the play. So like I said, when we start doing the film, I did have it drawn up with the play, so you'll be able to see it then as well. Then we got our motions. You got your A, his tags for motions, our train, which is flat motion, trolley, which is an orbit motion. So flat goes in front of the quarterback, trolley goes behind it. Bus, same thing, goes with our B going in motion, and all of our motions for our A and our B are across the field. So they're crossing the face of the quarterback. Our F, sometimes we didn't want them to cross the face of our quarterback with a motion. Sometimes we just wanted to have them sprint out towards the sideline. So that's why we went a little bit different with him with Flip and Frida. So Flip is motion left, is F left, and Frida is F right, which I think I showed in the last one, but we'll take a quick peek at it here just so you can see that, because I think that's the only thing that I didn't really touch on. So Flip, again, is F motion left. And again, if we can stay in blue, and if we went blue Frida, F is just going to motion towards the A and the X. So like I said, now the F in Frida out of blue goes to the right, and it goes away from and doesn't cross the quarterback space. So we'll run this, and that will hit them on like a swing, or sometimes we'll call it bubble just to keep the terminology the same for the kids. It's more of a swing pass, but same thing. So again, just a different look with that with the motions. All right, here we go. Now we're going to get into some film. Like I said, fire away questions. Don't hesitate to ask anything. This is where I want it to be a little bit more interactive, and we'll be good. All right, so red F power. Here's the look. Again, everything's drawn up against the 40 front. It doesn't always like the play. The from huddle isn't always this look, but 98% of the time it is. I think one or two plays it might be a little bit different, but this gets you a general blocking rules. Again, that's the tough thing with youth, and that's where, because you never know where this D tackle, he might be lined up here one play, and then the next play he might be head up the strong tackle, and then the next play he might be back down in A gap. Like, you're going to see a ton of different looks. That's why it's tough to say, okay, the strong tackle on power is blocking the D tackle. Well, not if he's inside the guard. So that's why you need to have like rules, and we went over that in the last session. I'm not going to break it all down again here. But like I said, having those rules of more blocking an area than not necessarily a zone block, but having rules as opposed to blocking guys. Like strong tackle is blocking down. That's his role, not blocking a D tackle, if that makes sense. All right, let's get into some film. All right, like I said, some of the film's good, some of it not so much. So here we are in red. I've got it written down here, red F power. This is just our base look. You got your wing back here. Actually, let me do this. Oh. All right, so you got your B here, quarterback, your F, your A, and your X. Again, real basic right here. You can see right here's the guard. You're going to get a pull wrap out of him. Your B is going to valley to the inside. Your F's getting the handoff and getting upfield. This kid was kind of a dude for us. This was 2 years ago. This is the kid that we lost to basketball, unfortunately, this last year. Good basketball player, better football player, but like I said, just a real tough runner, low center of gravity, just a horse. And this kid so this kid is 10 years old, playing in a 5th and 6th grade. So he's a first year player for me up at this level, and he was probably the second best running back in the county. And you could have argued that he was the best in the county. Like he was that good. But again, so you got that base look there. Nothing too fancy, nothing too complicated. What this look does, so we'll go red X. So what X does is it talks to your A and your X, and it takes your A and your X and moves them over to the strong side. So now what you're seeing is it's going to take this backer and slide him out because he's got to account for the A. He doesn't know that I'm not going to throw the ball to him ideally. He doesn't know that X is never going to probably touch the ball because that's where you hide a kid that if it's a coach's kid, something like that, you can hide a kid there. So like the defense doesn't necessarily know that. So that pulls him out, that keeps the cornerback out, and that can really open up these off tackle plays. So see how like even like this guy kid typically would be a little bit tighter, then even he'd be a little bit tighter. So that, he could really create some havoc if he's aggressive coming down. So where here when you split out, it just by formation you're lightening the box here. You're taking that guy away. And I mean now you look at your numbers, right? So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys coming to the play side against 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. I mean I get that he's kind of in on the nose or on the center. So even if you count him, you're still plus the guy. If not, look at the numbers you got. And that's just by formation. And the good thing is nothing changes for everybody in the box. These 9 guys are all running the same exact play, the same exact blocking, the same exact everything. But just by formation, you're pulling 2 guys out and it helps open up some holes. So this was this last year. This running back here, he was more of a burner for us. I mean, you'll see he pulls away here. I'll let this play through a couple times. He just hits that edge and then bounces it and he's gone. Granted, you can't coach that. That kid's just a burner. He just has that speed. He's not a big kid, but he's fast. So once he bounces it, he's gone. I would have liked to see my A a little bit wider. We struggled with him lining up correctly most of the season. Super athlete, just he struggled with lining up in certain spots. So, like I said, we put him out there. He's going to be the F next year. He's going to be our feature back next year, and he's going to be a dude for us next year. But this year, it took a little bit to sink in. Coming up from the younger group, like this whole offense was brand new to him. My F this year, that's his 3rd year with me, so he knew this offense in and out. The quarterback's my nephew. Actually, the quarterback from both years were my nephews. So like they got some special outside of practice training as well. So like I said, my guys knew it, and this kid here, the B, is best friends with these 2 kids. So like I had my backfield working with me pretty much all off season, which was awesome. I mean, it was super helpful. But you can see we're not pulling on this power here. We just didn't have the guys to do it. We just sealed down, bounced out. Again, I'm not going to get a ton into the X's and O's of the plays just because this is more on a formation and motion side of things. But again, you can see, I'll touch on it real quick. Look how tight. Oops. Like that kid is like their DN, and he is inside of our tight end. We saw that on film from the last time we played him, and we just washed everything down. And we hit that edge, and we were gone. Red X Mustang. So here we're combining. This is probably in the way, right? This might get there we go. The little box in the middle will be gone in a second. All right, so Red X Mustang, we're combining 2 tags. So we're in red, which is strong right, X, which moves your A and X over. We've already been through that. But now we're going Mustang, which brings our B into the backfield. Mustang is our 2-back look. And now it's B power. So it's pretty much the exact same for everybody across the line. So from our quick tackle to our Y, everything is the same. The only difference is now our B is in the backfield and F is lead blocking. So other than our F, or other than having the back here that's inserting here, we're inserting from the backfield. So he's just leading up and through the hole. He's coming across and getting upfield. And it's the same thing as if our B was here and inserting and our F was getting behind him. It's the same block. Nothing changes for 98% of the team. The only thing that changes is our F and our B are lined up a little bit differently, and the F is blocking and our B is running with the ball. But again, it's still power. And this is just the play run with it. I think this entire presentation is just on power. The one with the next one I do with the quarterback run, that's going to have 5 concepts on it, everything but block. So again, it's the same look. You've got Red, there's our tight end. There's our A, there's our X, B, and F. F leads up and through. B gets behind him, and he makes a good run. This is a 1st and 10 play. He's a tough runner, but again, he's more of a downhill runner. He was quick, but for whatever reason, we struggled with hit and jet with him. He always wanted to be too far away from the quarterback with the handoff, and we really struggled with the mesh. So we actually ran jet, and I don't think I've got it recorded, but we ran jet out of Mustang. And how we did that, I know I'm kind of getting off topic here, is we had our B over here, and we just took him here, and we had him just come straight across and run that way. So other than having him come in motion, he just lined up in the backfield and got the handoff going to the quick side. All right, so this is similar play as last time. This is our closed look, so we're still in red Mustang. So red, again, tight end wing to the right, but Mustang pulls the B into the backfield. Closed brings your X, and we go, it's a double tight end look. So what this allows us to do, we've done this when we want to run belly. So if we want to hit some to the backside, and we're like this last year, we were pretty weak on the backside. So we could bring in our X, bring him tight, and that gives us another guy on this backside to be able to run to the quick side. So then it balances our offense out a little bit. And we got our A out here, and we could hit him on different patterns if we wanted to, or just run kind of an old school double tight end, 2 running back look, and just pound the rock both ways. Like I said, this view isn't the best, but it's actually not terrible. You get a pretty decent view of a puller. So that's the guard right here. He's going to pull wrap. We struggled with him blowing through the hole. Like, he'd do a great job getting there, but then he'd slow down and start looking for kids. And like I said, he struggled with that through a lot of the season, and we just couldn't break him with it. Like, he actually did a decent job there. He tripped on his own feet, but like I said, he did a decent job getting out there on that one. So this was 2 years ago. But again, the close tag, all that does is it brings our X and brings them to a tight end. See, any questions so far? We still rolling good. Get my thing pop up. So here we go. This is a little bit of a fancier play call, I guess. We're empty, we got 2 tags and we got a motion with it. So what was happening on this play is this backer was really just crushing us off tackle here. So we wanted to figure out a way to drag him out. Because again, he was a dude, he was their guy, he knew we wanted to run off tackle, and they put their best against our best. And again, he was having a day. So by doing this, your F comes in motion, and this motion should bring him out at least a step. And that's all we need, is just a step. So when we valley, we're now inside of him. He's not coming hard downhill. He's taking a step, and our B's getting inside and can block him out. So we're in red, which is tight end wing, right? Empty. So our F is out here, which is number 25. And then flop is this guy, which is our A. So flop tells our A to go to the strong side. So you got red, flop, empty. Frida tells your F to come in motion, and then just Q power. So for the guys up front, it's all the same. The only thing that changes is for the motion guy and the quarterback. And he's just hitting power upfield. That kid's taking that half a step out. You'll see him there. He sees that motion. He slides steps out. Our B is able to get inside of him here. Watch our B valley. He actually took the outside route that time, which that's okay. He still got inside of him, and our quarterback ran up inside of that. Again, very simple install. Nothing changes from quick guard to the tight end, or quick tackle through the tight end and the B. So like I said, it's the same play. What I'm trying to get through is it's like these are very simple installs. They're simple tags for these kids, and every one of these plays has had a totally different look. We've gotten our B involved. We've gotten our Q involved. We've gotten our F involved. We didn't run our A a ton. I think I might have some film on that. So like I said, we've got our A that comes in motion, and we've run power with them. So again, you can get everybody involved with just a couple different looks, with a couple different formations, or a couple different tags or formations, and a couple motions, and it looks like a totally different play to a defense. But for the offense, from quick tackle, so from your quick tackle all the way over to your Y and your B, even in this one, it's the same play. Nothing at all changes. I just want to make sure I'm not missing any questions. No, we're good. All right, beautiful. All right. So now we're in brown. So I know I said use tags, don't create new names or anything like that. But this one would have gotten too wordy. So this would be, so typically your B is on the outside here. So and the Y would be flex. So this would be red, flex, flop, squeeze. So it, like squeeze just brings anybody split tight. So like I said, it just gets very wordy. So we Kenny calls it brown. I think it's nothing fancy. All it is you got your B slides in a gap. The Y sometimes will split out a little bit depending on the play call. But again, you're running power. If you look at it, like your quick tackle, it's not drawn up, but he is step hinge. He's filling here. Center is on backside. Double team here. Block out the tight end or the DN. Run up underneath it. So your B, other than being where your A is and coming in and inserting, he's already lined up in the gap. He's just running downhill. He's just getting upfield and blocking first guy that shows. Quick guard, same thing. Pull wrap, look to that inside. But now you're gaining an extra blocker. So now, other than having a formation out to your B, you got your A out here who's just picking up that outside backer. And he's most of the time he is taught to be outside the widest guy here, so he's going to sit outside of him. And we don't need a big block out of him. We just need him to seal him, and then our backs are through, and then that kid's not going to be a threat to us. So again, it's a different look. I love this out of power. Love running power out of this look. You'll see actually here in a couple plays where I go even more exotic, and it wasn't a play call, but I'll tell you that story once I get there. But I'll tell you when we get there. So, like I said, with this, nothing changes. Quick tackle to the tight end, all the same blocking. So we've run 5 formations, and for everybody across the line, it's been the same blocking. So you're not teaching new concepts. Like these guys are running power. They know they're running power. It don't matter what the formation is, what the motions are. None of that matters to these guys. It's one play, and it's all the same. So like I said, it makes it very easy to get creative with the backfield because you can get a bunch of different formations or tags and motions and things like that or shifts. Like you can set this up to where your B and your A come out and they line up on the quick side. So you got your B here and your A over here, and the quarterback comes up and says down, your A and B slide over to the right, and then you run this play. Again, you can run a bunch of different looks out of this. So here's this. So this was this last year. So we don't have a puller on this one. I know on this we do, but we did lose our puller on here, which is a lot of the reason why I do like running brown. We ran a lot of brown and black is to the left. Just because we did lose our puller, I like adding that extra guy there. We'll run through this a couple times. So there's our B, our slot, our A, our F, and our Q. We're tight end right. There it is. He takes this wide, but like watch this block. I mean, granted, the running back makes a good move, but watch our wing back over here. This is our A. You'll see him, I think, on the last play that I show you. It's the one that I got the story about. He's actually on the sideline. He's going to be a dude for us next year at running back, but he's not going to be a power guy. He's not like that hard-nosed, tough kid. He's a good kid. He's got an edge to him, but it started to click for him near the end of the season. I think this was week 4, and this is where it started to come around for him. But watch the block that he puts out on this kid. It's nothing strong. It's nothing fancy. It's nothing hard, but he gets in his way just long enough for our F to cut up underneath it, read that block, and he's off. There we go. That's all it took. Not a great block. I think that kid got hurt on that play, but listen, he's the first one down there. So for him, like that was a huge block, and we bigged him up huge when he came to the sideline. And I'm not saying it's that one play and the coach is like celebrating that block for a touchdown that changed the tail end of his season where he could start like had that confidence to block. But I'll tell you what, like after this game, he started to come around. So again, motivate your kids. Like I see it all over Facebook, those coaching beams and everything like that. And one that kind of sticks to me is all it takes is that one coach to believe in a kid. And that's the case. That's what it was with that kid. And like I said, he became not a dude for us, but he became a solid play for us through our championship run. I think on our final drive in the championship game, he plays corner for us. He had 3 tackles on the final drive. Because again, when we played them earlier in the season, that team, they ran all over this kid. So, like, the fact that we built up that confidence in him, he made 3 tackles on the final drive in a championship game, like, that's everything for that kid. He still talks about it. So this is the play I've got a little bit of a story with. It won't be a long story, and I think I don't even know what time my session ends. I should look, but I think I still got a little bit of time. Um, so Brown is the look we were in. Ox just tells our X to go over. So over X, X over, however you want to look at it. That's that tag. And our bear tells our tackle to go over to the right. So we got bear and bull. So if we wanted to go unbalanced left, it's bull. Unbalanced right, it's bear. So the funny thing with this story, I didn't realize we were in bear. I didn't call bear. The kid that we put in at quick tackle was lining up wrong. And for the last drive, I mean, it was like the last 4 plays while we were trying to run out the clock, we were in this look. I mean, look at the numbers we had on this side. And I'm going to be honest with you, you're going to see it. When I drew it up, just for purposes here, like I had to adjust the defense because it made no sense to draw it up with the look that you saw because like they didn't really adjust. So wait till you see the look that we were getting. We had, I think they had like 4 guys outside over here, and we just ran it here. We ran it here, and this play here, it's third and what? Where's it? What, 3rd and 8 or so. There's maybe a minute left in the championship game. And like I said, we get the first down, game over. They stop us, they get the ball, and the time they had it before, they drove down on us and scored. We were up 12-6 or 14-6 at this point. And so like I said, I'm gonna brag a little bit. That's my nephew here. He became a dude that through the playoffs, he really stepped it up. And like I said, they're early in the season again. Most of my kids, they were kind of skittish. They had a couple close losses early in the year, then a couple injuries, and their confidence was garbage. And it showed. We played a couple weaker teams at the end of the season, and their confidence got going. And like I said, we're ripping plays like this off a team that crushed us in the regular season. We just went unbalanced and we just ripped through it. And like I said, that was to win the county championship. That play right there. And this play right here, Brown Ox. We lived in that most of the second half of this game because they didn't adjust. Like, pause it right in the beginning here. So we only have a guard over here. This is our center. So we got center guard, and then everybody else is over here. Look how many guys they got to the left of the center. They got 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left of the center. And I think they've got somebody head up the nose. So from the center and the guard, they've got 5 guys on that side of the line. We've got everybody else on the other side. I mean, if you want to talk about numbers, there's no reason we shouldn't have been able to run this all night long, and we did. I mean, that's where we lived, and we just ripped off, a handful of yards out of whack and drained the clock, and just absolutely, like I said, we just ran away with it at the end. Any questions so far? Oops, we got one that came in. Next, 35. Oh, okay, so we're way ahead of schedule now. Beautiful. Oh, it's 807. Beautiful. All right. So this is near the end that I've got for this, I think. Yeah. So like I said, this formation and motion one, that I figured this one was going to be a little bit shorter. To go through like all the meet and greet type stuff to begin with. So like I said, if there's any questions that you have on motions, formations, let me know. Because like I said, I'll pull up my huddle. We still got, so you said what, 35? Yeah, so like I said, we got some time. We still got almost a half hour. What is the playbook purchase for this offense? So my suggestion, so the youth playbook has everything except for Trojan in it. Trojan is in Kenny's 3 or 4, I think, 3.0 or 4.0. I think it's 3.0. So if you're looking for Trojan stuff, it's on that. But if you're looking for everything else, I'd suggest just, especially if you're just getting into the offense, get his youth book. He's got youth. It's a youth playbook. I think it's youth manual. Then he's got youth organization and drill. So he's got 2 youth books. And like I said, I used a lot of those drills at the high school level. So even though it does say youth, it's not like it's a super dumbed down version. But what he's running in the youth is what he's running at the high school level as well. And the biggest thing are just like certain adjustments that we don't let the players make at the youth level. We don't really run many RPOs or really any RPOs at the youth level. I've played around with it, and I haven't been confident enough to call it in a game yet. 2 years ago, I think I could have probably made it happen. This last year, my quarterback was a little bit shorter, so everything for him had to be a rollout. So it makes it a little bit tougher to do an RPO with a rollout. It's possible, but it does make it a little bit more difficult. Did that kind of answer the what you were looking for with what books to purchase? Cool. And like I said, I enjoy talking football. So like I said, sorry, my dog's climbing over here. I don't know if you can see him in the camera. Um, like I said, if you got any questions on anything you're looking to run, I'll share whatever I've got. I'll share like I said, I'll share this with you. Just email me, even if you want to do it now. We'll have a couple minutes. Feel free to do that. And like I said, I'll get you everything that I've got. Some of the things I do want to make changes though before I send it over. I'll try to get those done tonight or tomorrow. But like I said, I'll get that over to you right away. Is there anything that you guys want to see that I can pull up on like my huddle or anything like that? But I can't guarantee I've got film on it, but I can definitely look. I do have quite a bit of film. Now, do you guys have access to huddle or no? No. Um, so there's a couple different ones out there. See, that's where we're lucky enough to be tied in with the high school. So we split it with our local high school. So it's nice to be able to kind of bounce around back and forth with that. I think Go Army is a pretty decent one. A lot of people like that, and I don't remember the other one that people use, but there are some free ones out there. Again, Huddle's isn't expensive. It's definitely not cheap. I think if you're not going to use it for film, I don't. I think it might be like 300 a year, maybe 350 a year, just for the playbook side of it. Um, yeah, I'll pull up my Huddle, just kind of so you got a little bit of an idea of what that looks like. So like you can go through. These are all like my formations with different motions. So blue close train, uh, blue empty trips. There's like I said, every one of every one of these is a different formation with a different tag. It looks like a crazy amount, and you know what it kind of is. And we don't run all of this every year at the youth level, but I'll be honest with you, I bet we get 60% of these in. Maybe we don't necessarily use them all the time, but I bet if I if I called some of these random ones, I bet my kids could line up in them just because it's tags. Like so, you're not recreating. Imagine having to remember a different bird for every one of these motions or every one of these formations or a different school mascot or something like that. Like I know I wouldn't be able to remember that as a coach, and I'm in this all the time. Let alone a 10, 11-year-old kid that's got his uh, PlayStation at home and schoolwork and family stuff and everything like that. There's like they'll never remember all that stuff. That's why tags are the way to go. Definitely makes it easier. Let's see. Let me. So you guys can see the screen still, right? These are kind of the different concepts that we've got. Some are passing, some are running. So if there's anything here that you kind of see and you want me to pull up, like you said, well, kill time. I've got to go to 35. What I think we'll go maybe another 7 minutes. We'll go to 20 after. And then we'll take a quick 10, 15-minute break. And then we'll rock right at the end. Like I said, the end, like I said, I'm looking forward to the end one. That's all running quarterbacks. And again, in this offense, I think a running quarterback is everything. You add blockers where you need it by moving your F. So like there's just so many advantages to actually being able to run your quarterback. Oh, I think I mentioned the Y pop earlier. I think he catches the ball. No, not that one. Nope. close that one in. So really, all Y pop is for us is you got your base concept behind it. It's a run concept, and our Y blocks for a half a second and then just releases downfield. Finds open grass and just gets to it, and our quarterback throws it to him. At the youth level, it's worked fantastic for us because again, most teams aren't looking for that, especially if he blocks for a half a second. Like nobody's looking for the tight end coming out, especially when you got like two receivers out here. That's where they're looking for a pass. They're not looking for a pass coming out of the strong side. That kid just kind of fell every time he caught it. Trojan pass. That's another one. It's similar to Y pop. This is actually one that I was thinking. So remember the rule for Trojan on the edge. You got your B is blocking number one from the sideline, and your Y is blocking number two from the sideline. So what we'll do for our Trojan pass is our number one, our B runs out like he's going to block the number one. Our F runs like he's running Trojan. So our F runs out like he's going to block. This guy, because we pounded him on Trojan for so long, is going to fight through that block. And then he's just going to release downfield. He's going to try to get out towards the numbers. Our Y blocks at that line. Again, same thing here. He's been doing it all game. He's been blocking. F, again, running Trojan. He blocks for a half a second, and then he tries to get up the number or up the hashes. And I mean, you can see how wide open they are. System-based coach. If this run that, yep. If the DN crashes, hook and sweep. Can you outline some formations for stud play side linebackers for power? I like to run the same play if I can, just change the formation. That's what I did with power. Most of the season, we ran power. Like in the championship game, if we ran 30 offensive plays, 25 of them were power. So if you got a linebacker, let's see what can I pull up here. Strong side linebacker. I do like Brown. Brown's always been good to us. You get that extra back, the extra back in there. So the Brown power. Oh, did you want to hold on? That's why it looks a little bit different. Like I said, Brown F power. By doing this, you're almost going just the extra bodies is what's going to drive these guys out of there. So if like you're talking like this side, are you talking this linebacker or the outside linebacker? Let's see what you say. The play side linebacker. So you're probably talking more the outside of this guy. Yeah. So like what we did before, when we went empty, but you can run out of base. So let's do that. Let me pull up just red. Um, but the play that we ran earlier, where we ran that motion, that jet motion coming across, that's going to widen that inside linebacker. So, like I said, that's helpful. That's definitely been the biggest helpful thing for us at the youth level. Again, at the high school level, we can do different things with different blocking schemes on the end. We could also go X, which brings that outside linebacker out, and I'll sometimes see that inside linebacker will shade out a little bit because that outside linebacker had to shift out. So we'll see that. Um, so the biggest thing, in my opinion, is on the play side, try to spread them out. Try to get some guys out there because then they're going to have to adjust. If not, hit those quick bubbles. Hit those like you hit one bubble on a team, they're going to over adjust to it. So again, that would be my call. You can motions and then just getting extra guys to that side to force them to have to pull guys out of the box. That's going to lighten it, and then you just got to hope. I mean, at the youth level, I don't run any reads or anything like that with the linebackers. I wish I could, but it hasn't really worked. Wide peak or that wide pop could definitely help too if that linebacker's flying up and maybe there's not that safety that sits over the top. You could run that because now that inside linebacker is going to either have to cover that tight end releasing downfield, or if he doesn't, then you got to make sure there's that safety over the top. If he is, then all right, that's not going to work. But if there's not that safety over the top, then that wide's either going to score a touchdown because there's not going to be anybody there, or that inside linebacker is going to have to run with them. So again, those are just little adjustments that I've made at the youth level. Mustang has helped too because a lot of times where you got the running back getting a full head of steam running at that inside linebacker, if you can get like RB was a dude who wanted to hit you in the mouth. So having him with a running head start as opposed to just inserting from here is definitely slowed down some inside linebackers. But typically what we'll see is the outside guys are typically where they put their studs because most teams are worried about that edge at the youth level. So the inside linebackers are, I mean, this guy could be a dude for them. But again, if you got a guy that's just tough, you can either have your running back come up and smack him in the mouth, or if you got a guard that can pull and hit him as well, that's where it's beneficial having a guard that can pull and get into his face. Did that kind of help answer what you were looking for? Perfect. Sounds good. Like I said, I'll send stuff over. Like I said, I'm going to try to get it all done tonight, but if not, it'll be tomorrow at some point. All right, so it's 20 after 8 now. We were rocking pretty hard going through this. So let's end this one. I need a quick drink, bathroom break. I know we've all been kind of went back to back with those first two. So like I said, let's reconvene. I think you said my next one's at 8:35, 9:30, 7:35, depending on your time zone. So in about 15 minutes, I'll see you guys at that next one. Unless there's any other questions before I go. All right, perfect. So I'm going to end this one, and I'll see you guys at the next one. Appreciate it. And the next one is going to be on quarterback run. So it's going to be all quarterback run, and it's going to be out of different concepts and different formations with film from each. So that one there's not a whole lot of talking in that one other than like the film type stuff. So we'll break that down. All right. I'll see you guys at the next one.